right, so today's video, we are back with another episode of Quickplay Warrior. But for anybody new to this series, the way that this is going to work with the Quickplay Warrior is we're going to be watching somebody who mainly plays Quickplay, has a bit of like a ratio of a lot more hours in Quickplay to ranked. We're going to see where they're at, give them feedback like we normally would in a Quickplay game. And then we're going to watch their comp game and then guess their rank after like what their placements were because they don't play a lot of rank. Now, of course, I know there's, you know, where they place may not be the overall spot, but it's probably a decent range of where they are. Let's lock in here, watch these games, give them some advice, guess where the rank's at, and see what happens. They say, I have been playing since almost the start of Overwatch 1. The vast majority of my playtime being casual with friends. I have almost 2,000 hours total and only 96 hours in comp. Most of which is on tank, so I thought I'd share some support gameplay. The last time I did anything more than just placements was Overwatch 2 Season 2. The quick play game is Attack in King's Row. I didn't feel like I did too well for the first half and got carried by my team a bit, but did better after switching off of Zen. The rank game was a real back and forth struggle going down to the final point. Really interested to see where you think my rank is / should be compared to where the game actually places me. So there you go. So we're going to figure this out. We'll start with watching the game, give feedback, guess where I think the rank's going to be, do one more final guess at the end, and then go from there. I don't know, cool Zenyatta skin. Is this a new one? Or is this, because I know they just added like a series of this one, but I can't remember. I don't have. All right. So with your comp, keep your orb probably on the Reaper or the Tracer. Now, obviously, like, if you ever watch me play Zenyatta, sometimes I'll play Hot Potato with the orb. Probably not suggested. I usually just leave it on, like, one of your DPS there, because your Juno can kind of take care of the heals on, like, your tank. So, like, put it on the Tracer, or put it on, like, the Reaper, and then kind of leave it there, and then do your thing. But if you're like me, you'll Hot Potato it for a little bit, so basically don't do that on Zen. Well, I mean, Chad, you ever play the Zenyatta where, like, you see 3 people low and you start moving your orb around and it does nothing? That's me. Obviously, you knew the Hanzo was there, so I would have tried to play a little bit safer on your positioning. Obviously, your teammates still clutch that. Yes, the kill feed is also glitched in this VOD, too. That is their team getting the kills. So just be wary of what the Hanzo is, position better than that. But that sometimes is the first team fight play, you know? Good job hitting the button there. Again, most people know this, but I might as well add this if somebody new to the game is watching or returning from Overwatch 1. If the spawn moves, if you hit your interact key, it moves you to the next spawn. It's been in the game for Overwatch 2 since but a few seasons in, but I just want to reiterate that. Sometimes maybe somebody's returning or like doesn't play a lot and doesn't know that. Hit your interact key to go to the next spawn, which is what we just saw the Zenyatta do. In the spawn, like if you're just in the middle of the open, it won't do that, but if you're in the spawn. All right, orb on your Juno, yep. Remember, in this situation, you want to go for that long-range spam. Try to be at a spot where if they shoot at you right now, you're safe, which is, yep, like this, kind of around the cart. Oh, also, this is on PC. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. Taking the angle with the right-click. Good job using the like the sight lines there. You can pop your ult if you need to. Yep, I think that's fine. In that situation, you kind of look at what they have, chat. Like, what are you going to use your ultimate for? Like, Soldier 76 ult? Let's be real here. If you have to use a Zenyatta ultimate for Soldier 76 ultimate, there's already a slight problem right there, right? So, the reason why I'm saying that is Soldier ult sometimes is really strong, but, like, if they don't have that proper position to begin with, they're probably not going to get a lot of kills about anything, so. Doesn't mean don't use it for it. It's just, like, you don't have to use it for it. Wow. Man, what a Soldier ult that was. If the Juno didn't wait, that would have got nobody. See what I mean? Huge ultimate by your Reaper. Good job. Remember, you're the only support now, so it's important that you put yourself in a spot to be able to at least keep them alive as much as you can. Your Juno should be back soon anyway with the speed ring, so it won't be a problem for too long. I wanted to get you in the habit of making sure your orb is on one of the DPS right now rather than the tank. Just so that way they can take a little bit more of aggressive pressure here. Your Sigma should be fine with the Juno. So that's one thing I do want you to kind of pay attention to is your orb placement. Like, give it to your Tracer there. A lot of the time, that's what you want to do. So. Okay. So you just started blasting. All right. Well, there you go. Hey, you know what? One thing you're doing a good job of is spamming. Listen, if you're playing Zenyatta, spamming is good. I'm more of a right-clicker sometimes. Like, I just right-click the whole time. Or what the secondary fire, whatever you're on. whatever, like, you know, platform you're on. But spamming as Zenyatta is a big part of that. Even if you randomly hit a shot. This goes for any supports, by the way, like Kiriko, Lucio, etc. Like, if you spam, that damage, while it may not seem like you're doing anything, even if it connects, you're already helping your team. And it's a good way to do some chip damage that can lead to good team fights. So, no worries at all. Yeah, we're just doing a video right now. Glad you've been enjoying it. Let's go. Nice shots. Also, a little bit of a note, again, for people playing Zenyatta, when you Discord orb somebody, if they line of sight it now, I think it goes on a 6-second cooldown. This goes back for returning players, or if you haven't played in, you know, the last couple of years type of thing. Just remember that. So your Discord orbs need to be a little bit more thought, like, there needs to be more thought put into them. Keep in mind, the Discord orb here on Hanzo was fine. I'm just giving people that example of, like, you won't be able to Discord orb a Hanzo again for another 6 seconds. So I'm just showing people that this works this way. I know it's a very basic tip on stuff, but some people may not know that nowadays because Zenyatta has never had that for years, and I think the last couple of years Zenyatta's had it. So that was certainly a Hanzo ultimate. All right, Discord orb in the Mercy there's fine. You're saving your ultimate for literally just whenever you vibes. That's when you want to use your ultimate here, is the vibes. But yeah, I honestly, I might have hit the button too. Like, it's not going to be the best ultimate, but, like, I know why you hit the button. Like, I think I'm okay with that. It just happened to be that, like, the timings are slightly off. They want to get you eventually in the habit of, not right now, but let me see what we do next. Nice shot. Man, those Juno ultimate times have been unlucky. That was one of those things where you and the Juno both had some rough ultimates and back to square one. Okay, nothing's happening. Taking some map control. That's nice to see. I also have to figure out the rank here too. So I think I have an idea in my mind of where I think this rank's gonna be, but I want to finish this game and kind of see how it finishes out here. And I might be like overshooting it, but I have an idea. We'll see. Okay, on to BAP. I do like the BAP swap. BAP's good here with your comp you're on. Okay, there's a blade. Good lamp. Well placed. Good burst heal. I'm liking your use of your burst heal there, too. I'm feeling more confident than my guess. I could be completely off, but I'm feeling more confident than my guess. Nice shots there on the Mercy. Good job using a lamp to give yourself a chance and then escaping out through the high ground. Very well played. You might die to the Sigma, though, but, like, maybe your Reaper gets there in time. You had the right idea there. Like, that was a good escape. That was a good sequence there. The good cooldown usage. Good job using, like, your burst heal. Remember, chat, the burst heal is really strong for, like, AoE heals, too. All right. I wouldn't window this just yet, I don't think. They use the this is just to point something out here, chat. I want to pause very quickly because this is a really good window timing. So the Sigma just use eat, right? One of the number one things we look for in like top 500 games is the moment that you see Sigma use eat, you can pop your window. Because then at that point, the Sigma can't really survive that. Even the shield will go down if you use the shield. It's a really good opportunity here to pop your window the moment that looks for. So, like, if you ever want to question when should you pop window, it's really looking at the other team's cooldowns. Sigma just used eat. You're ready to pop that window if your team's ready. Now, would I pop it here specifically? It might be rough because I want you to look at your Reaper's HP and being down 2 teammates. So I wouldn't necessarily pop it here, but that's what you're looking for with the window. For a support player in Diamond Masters, would you say it's better to play a support that helps your team, Kiriko, or a support that counters enemies? I like more I like more utility better than full counters. Like if you're asking me, like, if I'm in a game and there's a Roadhog and the other team doesn't have a Kiriko, I still might want to have a Kiriko over an Ana at that point if it means that we can play fast. So it's all preference, but just I hope that gives you some help. Okay, here we go. Yep, good job not using your window. Obviously, you lost your teammates, so you kind of had to back up. Okay. That was an ultimate. Sorry. Use your lamp now. Perfect. Basically, you want to time your lamp like that, chat, so that way when you land. So just to point something out here, people. Basically, you'll use the lamp the moment you get lifted up, and then just kill your lamp. So always make sure you're trying to time your lamp. There's a weird timing where, like, you don't want to get rolled in the middle of the air and not use your lamp, but you also don't want to use your lamp too early, because if you do, they can kill it. So the point I'm making here is the timing you had there was pretty perfect. Like, if they shoot you, you can still lamp down. You didn't lamp early enough, so when you land, you're going to be fine. But that's something, a timing that is very important to get down. So I think you played that pretty much as well as you could have for that. So they just happen to have a lot of ults on. Okay. Here we go. Yep. Remember to look for the Sigma Eat. This is your win. Yep. I mean, literally perfect. Exactly what you need to do there. Good job. The only argument that can be made on that ultimate is getting a little bit further up on that one, so that way, like, there's a little bit more follow-up value from your team. But, like, I wouldn't even do that. I think just killing the Sigma is a good team fight. Excellent usage of that. Remember, you see Eat from Sigma, pretty good opportunity to pop that ultimate if you have. So, good usage there, good reaction. I was very happy with that. I would like to see you maybe go for the high ground control top right. I think sometimes this gets underestimated here. So, like, for example, this Moria won't be able to do the damage to you there in that situation, even though obviously the Moria didn't. But I think going up in that high ground could give you a little bit more opportunity to get some good pop shots and to get some things done for your team. Great AoE heals here, good shots. Like, just overall good play. This has been solid. Your BAP has been really solid. Yep. Looks like your team is still trying to get this, keep this going. I think you might actually win this team fight. If you want to come back as Lucio, that would actually be ideal here. You're making a lot of the right decisions here, Spanner. I want to point that out. I think you're making a lot of the right decisions here. Excellent boop. Put a heal boost up now. Yep. So the reason why I want a heal boost here, chat, is sometimes when you get in these team fights, you don't want to wait for your teammates to get super low because of things like the DPS passive. And this is something that I've recently done on Lucio a lot, and I win a lot on Lucio, is because, like, if you wait for your teammates to get low and then you heal boost, they're going to fall over. But if you keep your teammates topped off, then, like, not only do you build a lot of ult charge as they're doing damage, your teammates don't just fall over after your stuff is done. So, I like well-timed, like, heal boosts like that, and I felt like that was a good timing. But overall, I feel like you had a really, really solid quick play here. Now, I said to chat earlier, I'm kind of locked in on something, and honestly, the more and more I saw Spanner play here, the more and more I'm confident in this. I could be completely wrong. I actually feel like they're in, like, I want to say diamond, like diamond 4, diamond 5. I'm not even joking. I think that, like, it could even be, like, I mean, I dare say higher, but I think, like, diamond 4, diamond 5. Like, I could be completely wrong on that one, but, like, your gameplay's solid. Like, what really did it for me was when you were on BAP, your reaction was, like, next to perfect. Like, you knew to throw a lamp down. You knew to go back away, right? And that was just a good play. So when I watch the game back, I'm watching some of the decisions you're making, and a lot of them were good. You notice how sometimes I would call something, and then, like, it would happen right after? So, like, there was a lot of things that I liked and I saw from you that was just a solid part of your gameplay. Now, obviously, I still need to see the next game, your rank game, guess from there, so this could change. But my initial thoughts, I'm going like diamond 4, diamond 5. I'm giving myself a little bit of wiggle room there on the diamond 4, diamond 5, like, just for, like, that part, but, like, pretty solid so far. So next up, we're going to go to your comp game, give you feedback on your comp game on Suravasa, and then we'll figure it out from there. So you're playing a Yari on this map, so we'll see where you start. Starting position is going to be pretty key here, because, like, I feel like there's two different ways to approach this. You know what? We don't go to too much Suravasa. So there's two ways to approach this map. It's either go here, or it's to, like, go back here. Now, in pro play, what happens is teams kind of, like, based off of their spawn. I feel like it's based off of their spawn, but, like, maybe some teams just feel more comfortable. Some teams will play here. Some teams will go here. Personally, I like this side better. This side, I always feel like I get stuck here, but, like, this side also works. Either way, it's preference. Just try not to get all stacked in this doorway because that can like not go well, but we'll see. They have a Reinhardt. Pylon location's fine for now. Remember, we just recently saw a buff to a Yari too, so a lot more damage output now is happening. You made the right play, but that did not go as planned. That was not as planned. See, if you didn't see, chat, the Rhine got booped into the BAP and then because of the AoE, but that was the correct play. I love how this one has been a very, everybody has a lot of different ideas on where the rank at is for this one. The other one, I think we were all kind of locked in and kind of had a good idea. This one seems to be a lot of different opinions on where this is going to go, so I'm very curious myself. I'm looking at a few things, but overall, we're looking at ways to win this team fight. First of all, good job staying away positioning. Remember, damage output's key. Also, just to reiterate, when you're playing a Yari, it's really good to kind of like go on these like really cool off angles and like do some damage. So like an example would be, you know, not being right next to your Zarya, but being at an angle where you can DPS and also survive with your pylon. The pylon has a pretty decent range now, so does your right click. So feels like you're a little bit indecisive on what you want to do right now and where to go. I know you're trying to ping over there, but there was a bit of indecisiveness where their team was. Looks like maybe you might have heard the Tracer. Your pylon's in a good spot. Good job taking the duel. Pylon location was good. I think you played that okay. Wasn't the worst. You weren't sure where the Tracer had gone? That makes sense. So you just wanted to let the people know the Tracer was there, yeah. The only problem during that, though, is that if your teammates are off doing their own thing and you're worried about where the Tracer went, that's only going to give the Tracer more of an opportunity to isolate you in a 1v1. So just be careful of that and try to make your team aware of the Tracer, but try to make them aware in a spot that's a little bit like more helpful to them. It felt like you kind of almost LOS yourself and kept yourself out of the team fight. Also, I love the idea you had right there. It would have worked if it wasn't for the Helix rocket. Basically using the pylon as like a block, so I don't think your team's gonna group up. I think they're gonna just have to launch a pylon, yeah. If you, remember the new boxes here? There's a way to go up. If you haven't seen this, chat, on Survivasa, they added that like a few seasons ago. Just easy to go there. If you get your ultimate, you can use it as a disengage tool if that's something you're considering. I think putting that pressure on them early will be here. You're getting stuck in the mud a couple times, so I want you to be a little bit wary of your position in sometimes. It felt like if you take yourself out of the team fight for too long, you're losing a lot of value. But thankfully, you also have a really good ultimate that can win team fights, and you also do more damage and DPS right now with the recent change to a Yari. That's not actually the case, but I just wanted to say that. There you go. Good first point. I think the one thing you need to work on is your decisiveness. It feels like a lot of the time you have these moments of downtime where you don't do anything, but it's not because they're like forcing you to have no downtime. You're kind of just like even though you're like disengaging from them there, you're not like thinking about your next spots. So you stand around and like spin in circles and stuff. So you definitely want to clean that up a little bit, because if you let your teammates get poked out there, that team fight can go completely different. I was okay with that pylon spot initially, but obviously the Cassidy made a good play, so kind of just an unlucky, like, not knowing where they're at. So maybe next time try to put your pylon in a safer spot pre-fight and then use it later, because you don't have it right now when you would like. Now you're going to have it, put it top left above you. Correct play on that one. That means that they have to go around the wall to kill your pylon or take a better angle. I think that's the correct play. Big slam by their team. Good job trying to boot them away from them, but I think this is going to be one of those team fights that should go in favor of nobody. It's an even team fight. Their Ryan's actually getting low. A huge grab here. Good job. Remember to try to play the angle here. I mean, you and your BAP did an excellent job right there. Good play. I mean, like, I don't think that even becomes remotely as close of a team fight as it was if it wasn't for you and the BAP. So nice job on that one, backing away. Pylon location's looking good. Remember, with a Yari, this goes for any rank. Any damage you can find on a Yari is huge because you do a lot of damage now. It's okay to self-heal yourself or pocket yourself with a pylon, and your range now is pretty decent. Remember, some of these heroes do a lot more damage, like, than if you were to play, I don't know, like Lifeweaver. Even though Lifeweaver does decent damage, or Mercy, like, you know, you're going to be doing a little bit more healing, or trying to balance your utility. A hero like a Yari is set up a good pylon, do some pop shots, make sure your teammates are healed when they need to be to the best of your ability, and do damage. And if you do that on a Yari, you're probably going to have a good time. Now, I want to point out that whenever I play against really good Yaris in top 500, they usually will take these really aggressive, like, angles, and sometimes are, like, by themselves. Now, of course, try to base it off of a few things on that one, but yes, Overall, not a bad first few minutes of this, but unfortunately, you and your team were never able to get anything going on that point. So, on to Zenyatta now, so a little bit more damage heavy. I like your aggression on the Rhine. Force out tree right there, which was nice. Make sure to keep your orb on. Oh, well, that's unlucky. Yeah, next time, try to wait till you get healed up. I've done that before, too, where I get a little bit impatient and ambitious with my play. It would have been nice to have your Discord orb during that one, and you kind of went right into that. So I would have played your position a little bit safer, but it worked out. Your teammates ended up clutching it, and it looks like you should be able to eventually take this team fight in a 5v3. I think at least. Your teammates are a little bit kind of like all over the place, though, in the sense that like you have numbers, but you're not using that numbers advantage. Your Sojourn just ran at them in a straight line. There you go. Now remember with Zen, it's all about taking some good angles, solid positioning. Don't play hot potato with the orb. Hot potato with the orb means you just like moving your heel left and right all the time. Yep, spamming the Rhine Shield is the correct play here. It's going to give your teammates opportunity. Positioning's good. You're at an angle. This is, whenever you hear me mention angle, it's really just about making their team have to look in a different direction than they normally would look. If you're all stacked, they're going to look in one direction, right? But if you're in like 3 different places, it's going to be hard for them to isolate that. Now, of course, have the correct positioning. Yeah, I'm okay with this. Because you can Discord orb them, right? If I'm correct, you got the orb one? Yes. Yeah, that was fine. I think with the new perk they have where you can kind of Discord orb them, you get a little bit more value now in those random like 2v4 ultimates. Sometimes you can actually turn that into a win. There you go. Discord the Rhine. Ah, you're hecked, yeah. Cass made a good play. I think your team still kind of went a little bit too forward there, so it kind of, it's not really on you, but I think like one thing you want to do when you're playing a hero that needs good positioning is to really be ready to react to what they're doing. I felt like you just stayed there for too long and put yourself in too much of a close range 1v1, but that's just a small thing I've seen, you know? There you go. I mean, honestly, their team is hitting some shots. Okay, well, that was a sequence. Ooh, that headshot hit. Damn, if the Discord orb was on, you had that, but like the timing just fell off. Like the 6-second time, and you wouldn't have been able to get the Discord. Okay, here we go. Trying to take the left side control. Yeah, I mean, I think you did everything you could pretty much do there on that part. Like, you can't run in. I don't know. I still feel like I liked it when you were on a Yari, but we'll see. I mean, the good news is you have a Rhine in front of you, so and you are looking at them with no HP. I can't believe you survived this whole sequence. Nice right clicks. Good job kind of like spamming damage as you go. Their Rhine is close to shatter, so if that's what you're thinking here, that is correct. But that Rhine's one. Okay, keeping your orb up on one of the DPS. This will probably be a Zenyatta ultimate out of you. Be ready to react quickly to this Rhine. Perfect. Excellent decision. That was the correct decision. Try to get in front of your team. A little bit of a note, chat, if you're the Zenyatta. Sometimes, like, if you have your ultimate, you can stand and get charged by the Rhine. Even if they get you, it might be enough to, like, basically kill their team and win the team fight and, like, help your teammates survive. Sometimes that's what I'll do on Zenyatta. So, does the Rhine shield take more damage when Discord? I don't think so. I think it's applied to the hero, not the shield. I think that would actually be really rough if that was the case. I feel like sometimes it's almost like you're kind of like spectating. Like, that's why I was a little bit surprised with the Yari swap. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of the time it's just and it's not even like a you thing. It's just like your team doesn't have the comp to be able to burst through a Rhine shield right away unless everybody shoots a shield, including yourself, what you have been. So if your teammates aren't just constantly breaking the Rhine shield, I feel like the Rhine Shield is just getting so much more value than you normally would get. So I don't know how you really fix that as like in a team composition aspect, but like it just feels like you're just kind of stuck shooting at a Rhine Shield the majority of the game. And the value isn't quite being there because there isn't any follow-up on the shield. So, yeah. Angle here is perfect. Again, if you... Like for example, chat, like if you want to get wild on Zenyatta, like, and obviously, let's ignore the Soldier 76 here for now. But like, there's a world where you can go like here and take pop shots as Zen. And I think this is something that a lot of good Zenyatas do eventually. So like at this angle, even if like they're here, they know you're here, right? So like they know where you're going to be. But if you end up here, and again, just ignore this part. If nobody was there and you kind of like pop shot these angles, they're not going to be able to get to you in time. I want you to look at their comp. They don't have speed boost. No one can get to you quickly except a Reinhardt charging you. So if you're here, you can start taking some angles, which is going to give pressure alleviated from here. If they don't, you get some free kills on people here. And then you can rotate down this way if need be. Or if you really needed to play it safe, you could rotate back this way. See? You could rotate back this way, and then you end up in a safe spot. When you're here, you're kind of all stacked. So, like, you're going to even take some residual damage from their team if they just, like, for example, this Fire Strike, I don't think was meant for you. But the Rhine put it there. Do you get hit by the Fire Strike? Let's find out. So, see, you get hit by a Fire Strike that you normally wouldn't get hit by if you were just at, like, a different angle rather than all stacked on your team. So, sometimes when I explain angles, you understand the idea of playing separate, but I want to also showcase an example where, because you're all with your team, you're taking some extra damage here, in my opinion, that you wouldn't normally take because you're all in the same spot. Now, of course, if you have Zenyatta Ultimate here, you might be able to do that. But flip side of that, sometimes people use Zenyatta Ultimate as a repositioning tool. And you could use that also. So we'll see where it kind of ends up at. But, yep. You do end up rotating. There's a grab. Looks like the grab was good by your Zarya, so good play. Position and your rotation from there was solid. They ended up having to look at you, didn't get any kills. And now you got a free team fight. So we have a 2-2. Can your teammates make it 3? Or make it a win? Let's find out what rank. I'm going to guess after this. This is currently the Quickplay Warrior series I've been mentioning. So I'm also trying to figure out the rank as we go too. Spamming, this is good. Remember to try to set yourself up in a spot that is a little bit isolated. Now, of course, if they're running like a backline, like Trace or Genji comp or something, your position, it might need to be a little bit more with your team. But that's why it's based off what you have. Nice Zenyatta ultimate and reaction. Good job. Remember the way that works is you're going to keep them discorded over when you go into them. So don't be afraid to kind of like, you know, go into their team a little bit and then back away. I think maybe there's a bit of a miss there on that. But try to kick the Rhine away. Remember, your kick does push people back. The unfortunate part is that there is going to be that tank passive that makes them not get kicked as far. So you do need to be a little bit wary of that. But you weren't going to win that team fight to begin with after you lost some of your teammates to begin with. So, but I would have liked to see you kind of go into them and get there. You said no big slam. That was, no, listen, big slam. There you go. Trying to see a heal go up here. Yep, you're kind of just stuck in this limbo. And like I said, this goes back to what I was talking about. It just feels like you're just stuck here shooting Rhine shields the whole game. And this comes down to your team. Like, if you're in a situation, chat, where you have a Reinhardt like this, and they kind of just hold their shield up in front of people, just shoot the shield, okay? Of course, you can say big slam. I mean, listen, I don't make the rules. You got to say big slam when there's a shatter, whether it's big or not. Big slam, see? Yeah, I mean, I think, like, this is just one of these rank games where I just feel like if you're gonna play Zenyatta and your whole, like, gameplay is shooting shields, if your teammate doesn't help you shoot shields, I think at some point you need to just go and take your own angle and then try to find ways behind that shield. Because most of this gameplay became you just shooting the shield the whole time. Like, nobody was really kind of getting the Rhine shield down, so there was infinite value there. So next time around, I really would like to see you take those aggressive off angles. Because I think if you do, it's going to put a lot more pressure on their team. And when they're not running a fast comp, you're going to be more safe than you normally are. So an example of that is if they're running the Lucio, yes, they can speed boost the team to you and kill you and take advantage of your positioning. But if you're playing against a comp where they're running Reinhardt, Ana, Lifeweaver, Soldier, Cast, the only hero who can get to you is Soldier 76, and honestly, I don't know how Zenyatta's feel about this, but Soldier versus Zenyatta is a pretty good matchup for Zenyatta. The hitbox on Soldier is pretty forgiving for hitting shots, and you can kind of play around that a little bit. So I'm not like, I want to see you be a little bit more proactive with those plays in the future. I think that's a really good way to go about it, rather than kind of just sit there and just shoot shields. So yeah. You said you'd 100% take a duel against a Soldier? Exactly. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying, too, of like, if you're willing to take that duel with a Soldier, well, why are you afraid to go and take a more aggressive off angle away from your team? Because you can still orb your teammates, but if you're stacked behind him and nobody else is doing that, you're just kind of stuck at that point, right? So, yeah, I think that's going to be the major point for you here is next time if you do that, I think you're having much more value. I think your positioning, like, besides the off angles, is solid. You have a safe, solid position, and that makes sense in most situations. But this was a game where I felt like you just played on your back foot and was relying on your teammates to make all these plays while you kind of just sat there and spectated that. So looked to be a little bit more proactive in there, but overall, you actually had some pretty good moments here. So I think like wherever you're at, if you continue to play any ranked or you want to climb, I think you definitely can. You got this. You absolutely got this. To the next step, though. Do I stick with my rank guess? I am. I'm going to stick with my Diamond 5. Here's my take. Even if this doesn't end up being Diamond 5, I think I saw enough mechanically and enough with your positioning that like, this becomes a decision-making thing for you a lot of the time, and decision-making can kind of vary based off of ranks. But I think mechanically, you have the mechanics to climb, and you are playing well. So, again, I could be completely wrong, but this is part of it too, is like, maybe you are higher than that rank, and you just need some more playtime and rank to get there. So, we'll see. I could be completely off. Let's find out. The rank is Plat 4. Yes, Plat 4. Plat 4, 31% in. So, I was higher above than the rank was, but I'm still confident. No, I will stand by my Diamond 4, though. I actually think that if you played more ranked, you would get there. I actually think that I'm going to stick with it. Congrats to everybody who got it right on that one. I just saw a lot of good habits that, like, if you played more, I think you would be there. Straight up. You had a lot of really good habits that you can develop over time with that. So, sometimes that can be tough to go, but hey, Plat's still good. He said, you guess you got to play more rank? That's going to be up to you, Spanner, right? Obviously, do what's most fun to you. Don't feel obligated to play rank, but overall, great VOD, good gameplay. And again, chat, that goes to show you, by the way, like, it goes back to what I've talked about with the Quickplay stuff. Like, I'm over here watching really good things, and mainly from Quickplay, right? Like, there's not many comp hours happening. It goes to show you that, like, you know, there's a lot of really good Quickplay players who just maybe don't have the time for ranked or just don't want to play ranked. And, you know, it's cool to see. So, either way, if you decide to continue, I think you'll climb. If not, you'll be shredding some Quickplay lobbies. Either way, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure to like the video if you haven't. If you have any feedback on these, let us know. My Discord's where you can submit your own, pretty much anything. My Discord's where to go. And outside of that, I hope you all have an amazing day/night.